Hello guys, and today we continue learning the geography of Russian Federation based on the materials that Ukrainian armed forces provide us with when they destroy military objects in Russian cities. And today we travel to the city of Oryol. Don't worry, we travel just virtually. The city is located 160 kilometers away from the Ukrainian border, and its oil depot and energy infrastructure were on fire today because too little Ukrainian drones traveled that far. Let me tell you more. I like such videos. My name is Anna and I vlog daily from Ukraine since the start of the brutal Russian invasion. So if you're new to the channel, you support Ukraine, please subscribe and help us fight against Russian propaganda and fake news. And my longtime friends, check your subscription status and hit notification button. So from Ukrainian media and even from Russian Telegram channels, we know that in the result of successful military operation conducted by Ukrainian intelligence services, Russian oil depot and an energy company were set on fire today in the city Oryol, the center of Oryol region. It is really far away from the border, so two Ukrainian kamikaze drones managed to travel all of this distance carrying heavy load of explosives. These are first missions of such baby drones, but I am super proud that they are working and working well if we look at the fire. Of course, Russians can repeat it was someone smoking, or they described it as two unknown flying objects fell on the energy infrastructure. Okay, they fell, but they fell so good. And I wish many more unknown flying objects to fall on Russian military infrastructure. By the way, we have a really good video about Ukrainian army of drones and Ukrainian development, so go check it too if you haven't seen it yet. I have decided to read a little bit about Russian city Oryol. That's how I discover many of the locations, and Google offered me an 11-hour car trip from my city to Oryol, which I immediately declined because I don't feel like traveling to Russia until our victory parade in Kremlin. And remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new to see that online. Let me know, would you like to visit Russia after the war, or maybe you would like to see it right now? Honestly, I don't have this enthusiasm, and maybe only far east of Russia, which I do not consider Russia at all. It's more of many other beautiful nations that are now suppressed by a monstrous mixture of empire and communism. But let me return to the topic of our video. So in the result of an operation organized by Ukrainian intelligence service, two kamikaze drones managed to travel close to 200 kilometers from the Ukrainian border and to land successfully with really bright lights on the oil depot and energy company inside Oryol. Oryol, by the way, do you know how to translate the name of this city? Eagle. I don't associate any of Russian territories with eagles, more with rats. I hope YouTube will accept that. This is a city with 300 inhabitants, and it is often used by Russian military as a logistics point because, once again, it's not that far away from Ukraine. And there were some explosions, there were some unknown flying objects already in the skies, and today they have landed successfully. Ukraine works really hard on the development of such drones. And there are a number of very different drones performing different functions, starting with evacuation or bringing the supplies needed in really hot zones, and finishing with extremely important kamikaze drones and drones that can even be leaders of the specs or herds of drones performing specific attack functions. And Ukraine has very limited resources with which it can attack actually inside Russia, but it is very important for the success of counteroffensive and our victory to bring some part of war back to Russia. And with such operations that, by the way, do not cause any harm to civilians, Case in Belgorod was an example of how unprofessional Russian air defense is, and actually they spoke about that, and the Ministry of Defense said that all the victims in that case were the result of the work of Russian air defense, which once again proves they are not ready to fight the war on their own territory. And the hotter it will get inside Russian Federation, the more we will see possibly some protests inside, and the sooner this war will end. So don't worry about that. Also, you might have noticed that I use Russian Federation more and more often in my videos. Yes, because Russia is not the same, and Russia is extremely different, and it consists of so many beautiful republics that are so far away from Moscow that they don't even know what is happening there. And I believe that we should not treat the future inevitable collapse of Russia as a catastrophe, but more as a dissolution and an opportunity for many new countries to appear and to accept democratic rules of existence. And don't worry about nuclear weapons, because now we have to worry when Putin controls them, or people like Medvedev or Gerasimov, we don't know, dead he or alive. So I hope there will be more objects, unknown flying objects falling on Russian military targets, more people smoking on their factories. I don't mind if they don't say it's the result of Ukrainian counteroffensive. Well, we know it is. Thank you once again for buying me coffees. It's really cold outside, like -15 Celsius during the day. Very unusual for Ukraine. I know many think we are a northern country, but not to that extent. By the way, it's so interesting how we all differently treat our locations. For some, Ukraine is a northern country. For others, Ukraine is a southern country. It's all very, I don't know how to say it. What's the word for that? Relative? Thank you so much for buying me coffees, keeping me warm and inspired. Thank you for becoming my patrons. Remember to subscribe to my Instagram, Threads, and Twitter. I'm trying to be very active there. Also, we have a beautiful community on Discord. Let me know if you would like to have a live stream this Saturday. And also do check our merch in the shop. All of our items work well as conversation starters and beautiful reminders about Ukraine. But most importantly, we have to stay united, fight against Russian propaganda and fake news, and we will win. Slava Ukraini!